You've seen me hit PBs before, but things are about to get even quicker because today I'm sharing 5 completely different but exciting changes that I'm making to my training. Each one is designed to make 2026 the fastest year for Max Kelly, and you can apply these changes to your training too. I'm going all out to make this my best year yet. Also, if you've got any suggestions on top of these, then please let me know. Leave a comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe to me, guys, if you haven't already. This is the road to 15,000 subscribers. So without further ado, let's get into it. Right, the first thing that's going to make me a faster runner this year, well, that comes in the shape of something absolutely huge. I'm signing up for my first marathon, the London Marathon. Not maybe, not one day, next year, 2027. It's happening, and honestly, that long-term goal changes everything, because when you've got something that big sitting on the horizon, every single session suddenly matters. I'm not just training to get a little bit fitter, I'm building towards a huge race. But there's one small detail missing. If I want to do this properly, I want to race a championship entry, which means before I even get to the marathon, I've got a job to do. To hit that championship entry, I need to meet a standard of 1 hour 11:30 in the half marathon, and I'll be targeting that at either the Bath half marathon or the Brighton half marathon. The 1:11:30 doesn't scare me, but it's more of a battle of beating the clock, as the cutoff for the qualifying period for next year's race is the end of September this year. Honestly though, I think I've been so inspired by watching the marathon, watching runners like Ben Felton, Nick Bester, Cole Gibbons and Philly Bowden, seeing the way they commit to the big goals and just go all in. And all my mates all seemingly hinting towards a joined up marathon debut as well. That would be special to do it with friends. And it makes you realize at some point you've just got to step up. So it feels like the time to stop circling that idea, time to stop saying maybe, time to chase something that scares me. The marathon is that reason. Even after a good 5K, 10K, or even a half marathon race, you might feel satisfied. But a goal this big keeps the fire alive and the hunger in the belly. So come on then, marathon, let's have you. Now, the second thing that's going to make me faster this year is I'm going to be getting properly scientific with my training. No more guessing, no more that feels about right, no more turning steady days into secret race days. I recently did a full lactate test, and seeing the results laid out properly, my LT1, my LT2, my heart rate responses at each stage just completely reframed how I approach my training. For anyone not familiar, LT1 is your first lactate threshold point where lactate begins rising above baseline. It's essentially your aerobic threshold. LT2 is your second threshold, the tipping point where lactate accumulates rapidly. And what the testing has given me and my coach isn't just theory, it's precision. It's given me specific heart rate zones based on my physiology, not generic formulas, no watch estimates. That means every single day now has accuracy behind it. If it's an anaerobic development day, I know exactly where that sits. If it's a threshold session, I know where the ceiling is. If we're going above LT2, that's deliberate, not accidental drift. The recent test was honestly eye-opening. The numbers were reassuring, but showed very clearly where the limiter is right now. But that's the whole point, because now I'm not just training hard, I'm targeting specific systems with intent. And this isn't a one-off test. I'll be retesting throughout the year to make sure the training is actually moving the needle, adjusting zones if needed, keeping everything aligned with where my fitness truly is. Because if I want to hit a championship qualifying time at Bath or Brighton, I can't rely on vibes. This year, it's data-driven, accurate, deliberate, and I genuinely think that precision is going to be a big reason I run faster this year. One of the biggest upgrades I'll be making isn't another brutal interval session, it's training my breathing. At Speedway 10K recently, a few weeks ago, my heart rate hit 203 beats per minute, and what really stood out wasn't just the number, it was how high and frantic my breathing really felt. Like my lungs were panicking before my legs were actually done. Like in many of my parkrun videos, my heart rate hits that 195 so easily. Now, the diaphragm is often called the most underused muscle in sport, yet it's the primary muscle responsible for getting getting oxygen in and carbon dioxide out, which in running terms is literally your fuel system. That's why I've jumped on board with FivePointFive, a breathwork app that was designed specifically for athletes. I started by doing their Bolt score test, which tests your carbon dioxide tolerance, which directly correlates to your breathing patterns when you're running. The lower your CO2 tolerance, the more breathless you become. The higher your tolerance, the easier breathing becomes. And the easier you're breathing, the lower or more steadier your heart rate becomes whilst running. The app lets you choose from 3 to 15-minute classes across endurance, recovery, sleep, or mental resilience, and you can do them at literally any time of the day depending on what fits your schedule. Now, I've been doing the 5-minute classes before runs to expand my lung capacity and to activate my diaphragm to lock in better rhythm and control. Then another 5-minute session before sleep to help my recovery. And even from the sessions I've done so far, the early results have been really encouraging. Hard efforts now feel a little bit more controlled, recovery between reps feels quicker, and my breathing doesn't spike as aggressively when I surge the pace. Now I'm about to start on their endurance classes, which train your CO2 tolerance, which I'm excited to share more on very soon. It's not about a magic shortcut to faster times, it's about making the speed feel sustainable and repeatable. If oxygen is the fuel for running, it makes sense to actually train the system that delivers it. The app I'm using is FivePointFive. I'll leave a link in the description and I'd be fascinated if any of you are using it too. Let me know your thoughts. All right, point number 4 then is I'm gonna be racing an awful lot more, because racing is what I love the most. You can do all the perfect sessions in the world, you can dial in all the lactate zone, you can build that mileage perfectly. Nothing replicates standing on a start line knowing you're about to hurt. And if I wanna run properly faster this year, I need to normalize that feeling. The hurt locker has to feel familiar. Last year, I raced 17 times in total, which does sound like quite a lot, but when you break it down, it's actually less than 1 race every 3 weeks. And for someone who genuinely loves racing and who wants to get better at racing, that's probably not enough. So this year I'll be looking to race more often. Looking ahead to March and April, it's already stacking up. I'm targeting either Bath or Brighton, like I mentioned, in the half marathon, chasing that championship entry qualifying time. Then I've got Podium 5K in Leicester, a big London 5K that I'll reveal very soon, then the National and Midland Road Relays, the Comeback 5K, and the Bristol Track Club 5K potentially, and possibly even a 15-miler in there as well. That's a lot of racing, but that's deliberate because every time you race, you sharpen something you just can't replicate in training. You learn how to pace when the adrenaline is high, you learn how to respond to someone's surges, you learn how to hold off when your legs are absolutely screaming at you to slow down. You learn how deep you can actually go. Training builds that engine, racing unlocks it. If I only race occasionally, that intensity will always feel like a shock to the system. This year I don't want race day to feel shocking, I want it to feel normal. Controlled chaos, high discomfort, total commitment. If I can make that level of effort familiar in March and April, then when the bigger goals come around later in the year, I won't be guessing at what race effort feels like. I will know.
Now, before we get into the 5th part of this video, I've brought you up here to probably my favourite spot in Cheltenham. So this is my hometown behind me. The views up here are amazing. Now, if you've been watching this channel recently, you will know that I have jumped on board with Invigorate electrolytes, and it's been unbelievably game-changing for me. Invigorate electrolytes, if you don't know, are the best electrolytes in the game at the moment. They are unbelievably healthy, none of that sugar, none of the crap at all whatsoever. I'm taking them at the minute before every single run that I go on, and of course post-run to make sure that I'm fully hydrated and I can recover as quickly as possible after. And honestly, these are unbelievably cheap. With my discount code on screen now, you can pick them up for just over £17. They will last you nearly 3 months, 90 servings in a bag. They're absolutely incredible. What a product this is. Massive fan. It's a no-brainer for me, and with summer coming just around the corner as well, the temperatures I'm sure are going to be hotter than ever before. Make sure you're hydrated, enjoy Invigorate with that discount code, and let's get this run finished.
And number 5, I'm adding big volume and more trail running. If I want to be a better half marathon runner and eventually a marathon runner, I need a big engine, and there's no shortcut around that. Speed matters, threshold matters, racing matters, but none of it reaches its full potential without volume in behind it. So this year I'm committing consistently to higher mileage, keeping it around 130 kilometers a week for now. Not reckless mileage, not ego mileage, controlled, progressive. And the trails too, I'm really falling in love with the hills. Trail running forces you to slow down just enough to stay aerobic, but builds enough strength in ways that road running just simply can't. And mentally, it keeps things fresh. It's harder to obsess over pace on the trail. You can run by feel, you can stay honest, you can build the time on the feet, and that's exactly what I need to do if I'm going to chase that championship qualifying time. And then set me up for the marathon overall as well. I don't just need speed, I need durability, I need strength, I need a body that can handle big weeks without breaking down, and that is a big part of it. So while the racing sharpens me and the science fine-tunes me, the volume and the hills are going to harden me. That's the foundation, because the faster version of me isn't just fitter, he's tougher, he's stronger, and he's falling in love with every hill along the way. So that's it then, 5 changes I'm making to my training this year to get faster in 2026. Hopefully it's going to be a massive year, and if you've got any suggestions, I'd love to hear from you. Please leave them down below in the comments to help me become a faster runner and to help everyone watching this video to become faster as well. As always, thank you for watching, guys. That's it from me today, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.